Welcome to another QFloors webinar. Today is a continuation of last week's webinar about tag printing and barcoding. Last week was showroom tags. Today is inventory tags. Once again, we'll be utilizing one of the application notes on our website. So once you're logged in, click Application Notes. In the product screen, the tag printing and barcoding document, we'll be using that today. And also the printing tags today, we'll also be using this inventory reconciliation with barcoding document, which I just posted to the website a few minutes ago. So sorry I didn't have it ready for earlier. The different types of inventory tags. There are roll tags and rem tags. We actually have a few new tags and haven't updated this document for that just yet. It's very simple though. In the product screen in QFloors, when you click the print tag button on a specific product, so that means you have to have selected that product. Got a product here, and print tag. You have inventory tags, remnant tags. We also have the same inventory tag without any prices. There are some options up here for different sizes of tags. Not all of these options work with all of these tags, and when we get this document cleaned up and we'll list in there which of these do or do not work with each of these tags. Generally, the 8.5 by 11 tag is the one you'll use most commonly with any of these. These others, 4" by 1", and really we're changing this hopefully within the week. This should be 4" by 3/4 inch. But these other three are tags to be printed out with a thermal printer, and we'll look at that here in just a moment. and those generally will work with some of these, but not all of them. So that's the very basics. Coming back to here, which tags do we print out? Roll tags and rem tags. Well, there are some other little tags that we do print that aren't listed here yet. Once again, where to order them, we looked at that last time. That is on our website. Coming back here, and under partners, just click the word partners, and that's this down at the bottom here, near the bottom, Walker 360. Go to their website, go through their process to get in. They actually have some QFloors tags. They know exactly what we are printing, and you can order the tags. Now that's not the thermal printing tags. Those thermal tags you've got to order probably from the same place where you bought the company that makes the thermal printer. Okay, let's look at the printer. I'm sorry, the scanner and the printer. So the inventory reconciliation scanner, it's a Metrologic brand, which is Metrologic was purchased by Honeywell. In fact, I have over here a page up by Honeywell. So there's scanning and mobility. It is a mobile computer. They have mobile computers and they have scanners. This is actually a mobile computer. See, Optimus S5500 or the SP5500 is the actual product number on the back of the device, but that's what it looks like there. If we come back to QFloors, and let's see, we're going to have to click here, come back to application notes. Barcode equipment. Let's look at this. So that's the thermal printer. Let's look at the scanner first. It comes with a cradle, MeasureLogic Optimus S or SP 5500. The printer, the thermal printer, this is the only one that we've tested these tags with. You can try a different brand and model, but it may not work. They're a little bit finicky from what I understand. Talking with the programmers, we've had other customers just buy a thermal printer and trying to configure it and get it to work. They're finicky. That's all I know. So the Zebra TLP 2844, that's the only one we've really tested and confirmed these work. Coming back to Keyfloors for a moment. 4" by 3/4 inch, 4" by 2" and 4" by 6". Okay, let's see, back to here. The types of tags. Here's your roll tag and remnant tag. They're really about the same. You notice that the remnant tag does not have this history details section on the back side of it. These are perforated along the edge at the bottom and on the right side. You print it and then tear off the perforation later. These are intended to be folded in half right about here. Fold that in half, and then that slips into a vinyl sleeve that you then hang on the end of a carpet roll or attach to some other product somehow with some tape or a hook or whatever you need. Keyfloors print some detail in here, and at the top right we'll print some out and look at those. Those are the different tags. The thermal tags are really very limited in the data that they print. Some of them will have a barcode. The 4" by 3/4 inch thermal tag does not have a barcode on it, if I remember correctly. But they're smaller, so they're limited in the detail that they're going to print. By the way, the 4" by 3/4 inch is intended for attaching to the edge of like a stone slab, a granite slab, for inventory purposes. Okay, let's look at how to print these tags. This is really straightforward, 5 steps. Go to the product screen, select your product, click the print tag button, click the do we want a barcode on it or not. Do we want both square foot and square yard prices on it? We'll leave that there so you see what it's like, and then click OK. And select your printer. There it is. So the tag that we looked at over here, let's come back to this. When you order them, you can have your company name and anything else printed up in here, any different word, different text on here, but Keyfloors is going to print in here and up here. Looks like it printed some detail out down here as well, the side mark. So there's your price and product number. We print that large, so if it's at the top rack in your warehouse, you can see that, and your side mark. and what was the starting quantity, and then in the middle here would be that detail. And when you make a cut or pull from inventory, pull a few cartons off the pallet, then your warehouse staff should be writing into here the date and the customer name and your invoice number and the quantity removed and what's the remaining balance afterwards. Sorry, that's the tag there. It'll tell me here if it won't print it. Good, it did it. It'll give you an alert if the tag option you selected will not print the particular size that you selected. Am I not seeing it here? Let's go do that again. There we go. So that would be the 4 inch by 3/4 inch tag for your stone. It does have a barcode on it. It does not have a price. It's very limited detail. There's your product number. So it's really the same thing. You're just going to get a different size tag with each one. We'll just look at one other here. A little bit larger, has some pricing on it. Okay, so those are your different tag options. Again, the thermal tags you'd order probably from wherever the Zebra recommends getting the tags. You can probably get them at an office supply store, I imagine. Okay, that's simple enough, printing your inventory tags. Why would you do that? Of course, so that you have everything in your warehouse and any inventory, stock inventory in your showroom tagged, as well as special order items. Anything that's special order probably ought to have a tag on it as well. That helps in finding things, of course, maintaining your inventory, and then come the end of the month, end of the quarter, end of the year, whenever you're going to count your inventory, because all of you do count your inventory, right? Everybody say yes. Good. So we count our inventory, we reconcile that, and that's the purpose. We want to reconcile it. We want to find, what's missing. What's the Q4 shows that we have something, but it's not here. Q4 shows that we have a particular size, a quantity on hand, but it's more or less than that that we actually counted. So reconciling inventory, that comes to the scanner, this Metrologic SP5500, this Optimus S scanner. Let's come back to our other document now. Okay, with this scanner, the overview, just the big picture is you install some software on one of your computers. You can install it on multiple computers, but you really only need it on one. The software that communicates with the cradle and the device and the computer. So you go through some steps that are listed here. I'm not going to go through the installation steps in this webinar, but so you get the software installed for the scanner. Then you take the scanner out to your warehouse and you scan the barcode on one of the inventory tags, and you punch into the scanner the quantity that you've counted, and then you scan the next tag and you punch into the scanner quantity that's counted, and you keep going, scanning tag by tag by tag, entering the quantity. The data that you scanned and typed in stays in the scanner. It's a handheld device. There's no wire on it. You don't have to have it connected to a computer out in the warehouse or anything like that. It stores the data. It has a rechargeable battery in it. You're not replacing AA batteries or anything like that. So you take that scanner back to your computer and you set it in the cradle that's connected to the computer, and you download the data from the scanner to the computer, and then in QFloors you go and open that file, that data file that you downloaded from the scanner. And then QFloors gives you a report that tells you some discrepancies in between what you counted and what's in QFloors. So that's the overview. So this document, first of all, has instructions for installing it. Again, I'm not going to go through installing it. I've already got it installed here. It is a little bit technical in some spots. Nothing too major. The instructions here should get you through it, but of course you can call us here if you run into a snag in one of the steps. But go through the steps, get it installed and configured. Down here on page 3, acquiring data. So I have a couple of tags printed out. I have a tag printed out for this product here, number 410, and I've got a product over here on order, product 404. So we have some tags printed. Remove the scanner from the cradle, the reader, and turn it on. There's a little power button at the bottom right corner, a little tiny thing. You almost need a pen or your fingernail or something to turn it on. Just hold it until you hear it beep. You'll get a menu on screen, and you'll select the QFloors barcode option and press the enter key. There's a little return key on the scanner. So I'm going to scroll up, and that's the only. Here's a picture of the scanner. Little power button down here on either side of the scanning button. This is the one you would press, this little orange one in the middle here, to actually scan barcode. There's a return or enter key here, and then the rest there's an escape button over here that you'll use, and then the number pad, but this is your power button down here. Okay, so I'm going to press the return key to do the QFloors barcode. And now it's ready to scan. So we lost my tags here, sorry. So you're not going to see anything on screen, but I'm going to scan the tag, the barcode on the tag for product 404. So it beeps, and then it's asking me for a quantity. And so I'm going to type in a quantity, and it shows 100, and press the return key, and then it's asking, press a 1 for square yard, a 2 for square feet, and then we're down in here now. 2 for square feet, 3 for lineal feet, 4 for each. So I'm going to press, this is a 2 square feet, and press the return key. and then it just goes on to the next one. So I'm going to scan my next tag. This is product number 410. Holding down the orange button on the device and scan the barcode. It's asking for a quantity. And see, we have 1,400 square feet. Press the return button. That's a number 2 again for square feet. Press return. And it's that simple. You just keep going. Scan and type in the data. Scan and type in the data. The quantity counted. And we're done. And when you're finished entering data, press the escape button on the scanner. That's towards the upper left. That's it. So, you know, and it usually takes, that's about all the time it takes to scan your whole warehouse, right? Just a few minutes like that. Big project. I'm going to point out this again later on, but I want to just point out now, if you scan part of your inventory with the scanner and then you go and do the report in QFloors, is one of the reports is missing products. That will be everything you didn't count. So I have heard of some people scanning the data and getting the files that they download from the scanner, and then combining them. I'll show you a little bit about that here in a minute. Combining them so you have one complete file. Let's see. So we'll move into that here in a minute. So transferring the acquired data, the scanned data, to your computer. So you click on your computer, click Start, Programs, Optima Software, Utilities, Data Read. I have Windows 8 on this computer, so I had to change these instructions this morning because Windows 8 is just backwards in a lot of ways. It's good. I'm liking it more and more, but and Microsoft is releasing pretty soon a Windows 8.1 update that will give you a start button again if you want it. So you'll press a start key on your keyboard and start typing data read, then click that data read item. So I'm going to press the start key on my keyboard and we'll type in data read, and it didn't have to get very far, it brings it up. So if I click that, it opens that data read program. Okay, let's move this out of the way over here. In the directory field, type in a path in your computer to where you want to save the file from the device to the computer, for example, and it'll save what you had typed in last time. It'll still show that wherever you saved it last time. So I'm going to leave it there, the reports folder on this computer. Now, if you're at a workstation, you probably don't have that path. That may not exist on your workstation. That would only be at the server, that type of path, the C drive. You can create a folder on your computer. If you go to your C drive and maybe create a temp folder or create a QFloors inventory folder or something like that if you're at a workstation. Okay. In the file name field, create a name for your file. For example, inventory and today's date. So if we look here, we can see here's what I named the file last time. And it obviously saved it from last time. If we keep that same file name, it's going to overwrite it. You need to leave it at overwrite. That's probably the best way. Now you can auto append, and that would actually combine those files. I've never tested that. I can show you a way to do it manually. That's pretty safe and easy. The file name must have a .txt extension in order to save properly, and for QFloors to open it later. Moving down here, select overwrite, leave the device type as Cradle IR. Select the COM port that you identified earlier. That's extremely important. That's during the installation and original configuration of the software, the Metrologic Optimus software. So mine is COM port 3, and you can leave the baud rate, and we'll check all of these options here on the right except for the keep online for receiving data. So that takes us down to step G. Do not click OK yet. OK. OK, I won't click OK. Moving on. Turn on the Optimus Reader. Mine happens to already be on. Go to the main menu by pressing the Escape button. And then select Utilities. Select Transfer Files. We're down into step J. Select Send Data. Place the Optimus Reader in the cradle, then click the OK button in the data read. So let's bring this up. I'm going to set it in the cradle and click OK. You don't have to view the received data. I'm going to go ahead and open it. You can probably just click OK and be safe enough with that. There's the data. Pretty cryptic. You see there's my product number 404, product 410. Either side is a caret and a question mark. Here's the SKU number, if there is one, on the product. The quantity I counted, a 100 or 1400, and then a 1, 2, 3, or 4 for the unit of measurement. And that's it. I should have renamed that file. Once you've downloaded the data, then you can click cancel out of here and close it up. There is some more instruction here. Take the Optimus Reader out of its cradle and press 1 to erase all the data. That would be my recommendation. Or press 2 to clear the data last collected, or escape. I'm going to go ahead and clear it all. And are you sure? Yes or no? Press return. It's all deleted. And we're done with the scanner. So now we need to get that file into QFloors. It doesn't put any data into QFloors. QFloors just reads the data and gives you a report comparing the data counted to what's already in QFloors. Let me show you first, what if you wanted to combine files? If you scanned all of your carpet today and you're going to do your vinyl tomorrow and your hardwood the next day, or just different sections of your warehouse. We have a question here. Sorry, I hit enter before submitting my question. I'm guessing there is no way to reconcile the bin area while doing this. No, there's not. That's a good question. Excellent question. I will add that into the list that we maintain for suggestions and improvements. That was Waylon. Thanks, Waylon. You've always got good ideas. Excellent question. I think that would be pretty feasible as well. I don't know when a change like that could come about, but I think it wouldn't be too difficult to program in. The difficulty programming might be for us refiguring out the programming for the scanner. We haven't done that in quite a few years, but it would be doable. Okay, so here's the file. I should have given it a different name in the data read program. So it overwrote this file. What I'm going to do is just copy this and paste it just to, so let's just say that my new file, this is the one we just downloaded. I'm going to rename it. This is file number B today, and here's the one I created earlier. So if I wanted to have them all in one document, I'm going to open up this file number B and say that's the one I want to keep. I'm going to open up this file A, and here's the data that I scanned yesterday or last week, and I'm going to copy that and then come into my file that I want to keep and go to the bottom of it and paste the other data and close that one. I'm done. Now this would cause a problem when QFloors goes to open this report. If it had duplicate product numbers, it would give you a warning. You've got to go fix that first. But that's, to me, a quick and safe way to combine multiple days worth of inventory counting into one file so that when you look at the report in Keyforce, you don't have a ton of missing items because you only counted part of your inventory. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that out, close that. No, I don't want to save any changes anyway, so it's back to where it was before. So this is the one we're going to work with. When really these two are just exactly the same right now. Okay, so that's just a little sidetrack. Reading the data in Keyforce. In your stock tab in your product screen, under cleanup stock, there's a reconcile button. And then you browse to that place where you downloaded the data from the scanner, and you can double click the file, or you can click it once and click open, either way. And there's this long list of missing items, as I mentioned, because I didn't count all of that. I didn't scan it. But it would show you, if you had it all into one file, it would show you here's a few things that didn't get counted. Okay, you can of course do it by location. Quantity difference. So I counted product 410 at 1,400 square feet. Let's open this a little wider. It's cutting some things off. I imported 1,400 from the scanner, but Keyforce shows 1,500 square feet. That's a difference of 100. So this doesn't fix anything. It just gives you a report that says here's some discrepancies between what Keyforce has and what you counted. You're not able to double click and go to that product. You can move this out of the way, go find the product, and do an adjustment. Remember that we don't want to change the original quantity. We want to do an adjustment. And a positive adjustment will decrease our physical balance. A negative adjustment, maybe we counted 1,600, we would need to do a negative 100 adjustment. Today's date, you can backdate it if you're counting this year end. You want to put it into a previous month or something. A little comment, counted inventory, anything you want to put there, and OK. And so now we see our physical balance is 1,400 to match what we counted. See, back to our report. So there's these different options here. Status issue. I was testing this earlier, and there's a bug. This used to work just fine. I don't know how many versions. I would have to go back. But my product number 404, let's move this out of the way, is actually over here in the on order list. So the report should have shown product 404. I just talked to the programmers 10 minutes before this appointment when I discovered that this version has a bug. But anyway, this should show product 404 status issue. We counted it, therefore it's stock. It should not be in the on order list. We have another question here. You mentioned we can count with the scanner by square yard, square foot each, and is there a way to enter the length and then width for slab reconciliation with the scanner? No, there's not. That's a good question. This is Stacy. Of course, you would ask that, Stacy. We did a lot of the that 4-inch by 3/4 inch tag is very new, and we did it for the company where Stacy's at, Nuns Flooring out in Wisconsin. They have a lot of slab inventory. They have a lot of inventory in general. So no, Stacy, unfortunately not. I'll talk to Chad about that. Chad did the programming and design on that 4-inch by 3/4 inch tag and see is there something we can do for that as well. That'll go on our suggestion list. Right now, no, we can't. Good question, though. But that I think would be like the other one, fairly easily programmed, I suppose. We'd have to change the scanner, the program on the scanner as well. So the status issue is supposed to show you, here's an item you counted, but in QFloors, it's in a different list. Looks like Bonnie has a question here. Bonnie, do you have a question? Looks like you have your hand raised to ask a question. If you're in the audio, if you're connected with your phone, dialed into the phone call, or with speakers and headset, microphone. Okay, looks like Bonnie's typed her question instead. So how much memory does a scanner have? You know, that's an excellent question that I don't know. Let's see if Honeywell can tell us. Two megabytes. That's actually quite a lot for the type of data that it's scanning. It's just a text document, and a lot of text does not take up a lot of room. So I couldn't tell you how much, but it is 2 megabyte. Okay, so status issue, not working right now. We'll have a release that fixes that here pretty soon. Just discovered that today. I apologize. So it should show you we counted it in stock, but it's in a different list in QFloors, either purchase order or on order. Now there's a different one for gone items. Here you counted it. Product is in your store, it's in your warehouse, but in QFloors it's in the gone list. Okay, so again, these 4 different reports are just showing you discrepancies that you need to then go and fix. You can leave this window open, just move it out of the way, go and find and fix the item. Okay, using the acquired data, there's an explanation of the 4 different reports. Here's a link to get to. Oh, didn't take me there. Should have taken us to here. I'll have to fix that in the document. Coming back to here, I want to point out, I'm not going to go through the steps in this webinar, but I want to point out that we do have some instructions using the inventory reconciliation feature in QFloors without a barcode scanner. So you have to manually create the file. So that's coming back to this, manually creating a file like this. It does not have to have the SKU number. It really doesn't even have to be a text file. It can be a CSV file that's comma separated values. See how this data here, here's this value and then a comma that separates that value from the next value, comma separated values, CSV. So a CSV file is just a text document. In fact, if we rename this, there we go, put CSV on the end instead of text. Are you sure you want to change that? Yes. You'll notice that it gets a little symbol for Microsoft Excel or whichever spreadsheet program you have on your computer, and you can open it, and there you have your commas. For every comma separating the values, there's a new column in the spreadsheet. So a CSV file is really just a text file, but then you don't have to have the SKU number. You can type this in manually. and we counted 800 square feet or yards or pieces, or 1, 2, 3, or 4, whatever the unit of measurement is. You can hand create the file that way. You could perhaps go to your stock list and export that list. Hold the shift key down on your keyboard while you click the print button, and we'll call this inventory export or stock list export, whatever you want to name it. Let's make sure it's going to the same place. Yep. You could do that. Open up that file. There you have your product numbers. We don't need the rest of this data really. We don't want the MA in there, so we'd have to do a highlight the column. I'm going to do Control H on my keyboard because I don't know this new Excel to do find and replace. Control H, find space MA, and replace it with nothing. We've got warehouse location, find space WH, replace with nothing. So now I've just got product numbers. And then you can delete all these other columns. I guess I am going through that, aren't I? But we need the caret symbol and the question mark symbol, so that would be a concatenate. I want some text. That's on the number 6 up there. And then text 2, I want the product number. And then text 3, I want a question mark. Close that up with parentheses. Oops. What did I miss? I missed my comma to separate it. There we go. And then we can copy that all the way down the file. Okay. And then go count things and plug in the quantity counted and a 1, 2, 3, or 4 for square foot or yard or so forth. So that's how you can create your own file to give you those reports in Q-Floors. You'd have to delete this column. However, just point out, if you delete that column, that blows apart your formula because the formula is referring to that column. So we really need to copy all of that and then paste special. Just going to click paste special and select values and click OK. Now I have just the values. It's not a formula anymore, and I can delete both of those. Still have my data. Now you can do the other 2 columns all the way down with the data needed there. Save it. When you close it, it'll ask you, want to save it? Yes. Save it as the same name or a different name if you want. I'm going to click the same name and save, and it will ask you, do you want to replace it? Yes. You need to click yes on this message to keep it in that CSV format. And then you can go and read the file in Q-Floors. Now it'll give me errors because I don't have quantities or unit codes, but gotta close that report. But you could go and no, it didn't give me errors. Anyway, that's manually creating the file. Hopefully that helps you. No other questions so far that we see. No hands raised for audio verbal questions. Give everyone a minute to think of any questions, anything you've been waiting to ask. I'll get this document changed so that the link here actually works. Kind of odd that is the link. Not sure why it wouldn't take us there. All right, Paul. Paul says, sweet. Well, I do hope it helps. I hope it helps. I'll figure that out and get that document fixed and the bug fixed. We appreciate you being here today and participating in the webinar, your questions, your input. Whether it's during a webinar or not, you know, we do appreciate what you contribute to QFloors, all your ideas and suggestions and requests to make it better. Send us an email, support@qfloors.com, or call us if you have some more input or some questions on this. Contact our sales office if you want to talk to them about buying one of the scanners. Otherwise, we'll talk to you next week. Thank you.